Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing today? It is Thursday, the 2nd of June. Going to be doing some live trading this morning, trying to lock in some profits early. Going to try to get done before noon today. If anybody is tuned in, can you go ahead and let me know how the sound is, please? Either on Discord or in the chat. How's the sound today? Morning, Damien. Morning, Focus. Everybody hear me all right? I'll take that as a yes. I'm going to go over my disclaimer because I haven't been going over it. The views expressed here are my own personal opinion and should be taken as such. Trading is risky. You should always have a plan and plan your trade. Nothing you see here is financial advice. Video is for educational purposes only. If you wish to follow, that is your own personal choice, and FOMO Trader will not be held liable. So, start out, I want to look at Apple here. So, what I went ahead and did is I marked the high and the low from yesterday, the 1st of June, on the daily time frame here with these horizontal lines. And if we switch back over to the 5-minute here, we can see that here in pre-market we are currently about to break below the low of yesterday. And if the price action remains below that level, I will probably try an orb on Apple. We'll start with the 3-minute, see if we get a breakout, a confirmed breakout out of the 3-minute orb. If we do not, we will switch up to a higher time frame. And this will only be if the price action opens below the low. Focus wants me to take a look at Microsoft. Oof. Let's do this. Let's start with part one. So I'm going to remove all these drawings. We're going to come in here and we're going to keep it simple. We're going to mark the high and we're going to mark the low. So this is the high from June 1st. And here is your low from June 1st. So then we're going to come back over here to the 5-minute. And we notice the price action is opening below the low of yesterday. So this would be the perfect kind of setup that you'd want to take an orb on. Zooming out, let me look at the 15-minute here. We had a nice trend line developed here. And then our price action yesterday broke out of this trend, and then we've had a full-on reversal this morning. So what we can do, if you guys want to see a neat hat trick with the Fibonacci, we'll draw it from yesterday's high to the low. 277.69 was the high, and the low is 270.06. And if you look, the price pretty much just plummeted all the way to the 61.8 and then pulled back. So the algo is just dumping the price there of Microsoft. If it holds this 61.8 level, we could see some type of reversal. But in either sense, as long as we stay below this low, I'm going to go ahead and try an orb on this as well. So we'll be watching Apple. We'll go ahead and plot out our fibs here. We're going to go from the high to the low. And if you guys want to copy my Fibonacci settings, you can find them in another video in my YouTube catalog, or they are in the Discord server, which is still free for the time being. We do have the tradie tick spots in there. So we would want Apple to open below the low of 147.68. Let's see, how is SPY and QQQ reacting this morning? So if we come over here to the daily, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to plot the high and the low from yesterday, which was the first. And then we're going to come back over here to the 5-minute. So SPY's current price action is in the middle. Not necessarily directly in the middle, but it's in the middle of in between yesterday's high and low. This would not be a good time to take an orb, in my opinion, because it would be choppy price action. So you typically want to take an orb when you either gap up or gap down, or you're opening above the high or below the low. Looking at QQQ, we'll do the same thing. We do have an outside bar on QQQ on the daily. Did we have one on SPY? We did not. So QQQ has an outside bar. I love outside and inside bars. So we'll go ahead and we'll mark the high from June 1st, 2022. And we will mark the low. So I'm going to go ahead and set triggers here. So if we break above 312.65, that'll be outside bar, upside break. And if we break below 303.73, that'll be outside bar, low breakout. So I've got my alerts set up here. And to get your price targets, so our triggers that I've set up are my alerts in TradingView. Is I've set it up so when the price action breaks above yesterday's high, that would be a breakout of the outside bar, or it breaks below yesterday's low. Until that happens, it's just going to sit back and watch QQQ. But once we get one of those, an alert will pop up on TradingView saying, hey, the outside bar has broke. We will wait for a confirmed breakout. Once that happens, then we will go ahead and either do calls or puts, and you can get your price targets just by drawing a simple Fibonacci. So for your upside targets, you would draw from the low to the high, like that, and that would give you your price targets, your first price target to the upside being your 10%, 23.6, and so on and so forth. For the downside, you draw from the high to the low. You just draw it in reverse. So, and here is your downside targets. QQQ is currently forming what looks to be almost a perfect upside down inverse, however you want to call it, cup and handle. You got some good old coffee in there. Where's my coffee drinkers at? And I do trade patterns, but I don't solely rely on them because they don't always hold true. A lot of times they do, but a lot of times they don't. You'll see a lot of false patterns that are supposed to do something according to a book or a strategy that somebody wrote, but that just doesn't happen. Best thing to do is respond to the price action and watch the candle itself. So today I'm going to try something a little different. I am going to add another moving average to my chart. So I'm going to try the MA5, and I'm going to make this line, let's see here, I've got green, yellow, yeah, we'll go with blue, but I want to make it really, really big. So there we go. So I'm going to try the MA5 here as a different kind of short-term trend indicator. I've been using the MA8 and the EMA8 and the MA13. Actually, I did that wrong. This should be an EMA. So this is a EMA 5. So looking at the chart here, our blue line is our EMA 5, our green line is your EMA 8, yellow is MA 13, red is MA 21, orange is MA 50, and white is moving average 200. So I have been using the EMA 8 as a short-term trend indicator on developing a trend. Basically, if the candles are above the EMA 8, that is a bullish trend. As long as the body of the candle does not close below the green line, then you are still in a trend. You can also use it to basically base your plays off of. But I'm going to try to switch down to the EMA 5 and use it to try to secure more profits. So what I mean by that is if we go back in time and we look at QQQ here, so we could have gotten into puts right here once this candle closed and it broke below the EMA 8. So let me go ahead, let me hide these. So we get in because the body of the candle here has closed below the EMA 5. And we stay in this trade the whole time in puts until the physical body, see right here is just a wick, but the physical body would be right here, closes back above that line. That would be our exit signal. So now, if you look there, we would enter here and we would exit right here. So that by itself is about a $2.30. Hold on, sorry. It's about a $3 move right there. So now, if we look at it from a different perspective, and we use the green line, which is your EMA 8, we would have still got in at the same place. Right here, we would have got in because this candle broke below the EMA 8 and the body closed below it, so we would have entered puts. But then we would have gotten out up here once the price had reversed some more. So that, from here to here, is only about, it would have been off by about 20 cents roughly. So that EMA 5 can give us a better price, a better gain percentage. You can get more out of it using that. So we're going to try that today and see how that works. Let me get my lines back. Okay, so Focus said, do you have a video on inside and outside bars? I do not. I will be making a video soon. I've been slacking. That's why I'm trying to catch up here and do some lives every day of live trading, because I know this really helps people a lot more. And my biggest and best videos have been on the orb so far. I plan to do some on inside and outside bars very soon. So market's going to open here in about 2 minutes, guys. So keeping on watch, Apple. So we want to be below 147.68. I thought I set that alert already. And to the upside, 151.74. Microsoft. So you guys see this price action, right? I'm not delusional here. So we had this big sell-off here pre-market, dropped all the way down, bounced off to 61.8. Then we're dropping further down, bouncing off to 78.6. So it's not always going to be exact, but you can almost guarantee we're going to bounce off these levels. The 50%, the 61.8, and the 78.6. Those are the ones you can almost guarantee you'll get some type of bounce. Those should be your take profit areas to go ahead and secure the bag real quick. But we're also going to be watching SPX today. We're going to see how this trades. So I am just going to remove altogether the EMA 8. So we're going to go with the EMA 5 today. And market will be open in less than 30 seconds. Good luck, everybody. Let's secure some profit. And we are open. Market is open. So there's our alert on Apple. We are breaking below the low. So we're going to wait for this candle to close here and see if we close below yesterday's low. We want the body of the candle to close, and if so, we'll go ahead and use an orb. So we've got about 1 minute left. QQQ is breaking out of the outside bar. We also want to wait and see how this candle closes. So start the day off the market net flow. We've got puts going straight up, calls flat. Algo is negative. Got about 30 seconds left on this candle. QQQ looks like it's going to push back up. The buyers are going to push the price back up. Switch to the 1 minute here. I don't like the price action on Apple. Even though we are below the low, the price seems to be reversing off the bottom. There's our first 3 minute candle. So we can go ahead and we can create an orb here. So there's our orb for Apple. So we want to see that we get a break below the low or above the high. And we can do the same thing for QQQ. We'll take the first 3 minute candle. There's our orb. And we will wait and see if we get a breakout of these levels. That's a pretty big range, going from about 148 all the way down to 146.80. So it's not too bad there. Let's look at SPX. How's baby Tesla doing this morning? Tesla contracts are just so expensive. Apple looks like it's might try to the upside to break out of this orb. Choppy price action so far. I would like to get some music on these streams, but every time I've ever put music on it, I always get a copyright violation, even using copyright-free music off of Spotify, so I don't really want to get some copyright infringements. If any of you guys have any ideas about free music I can put on here just as some background noise, let me know. So we didn't get the orb breakout on Apple. So if we look at the 5-minute time frame now, our orb has the exact same high and low. And if we switch to QQQ, if we look at QQQ, the 5-minute orb is exactly the same high and low as the 3-minute. So as you can see right now, QQQ, the EMA 5 is kind of acting as resistance here. Until we actually get a direction, I'm holding tight here and not going to take any trades. AMD had a nice pop, so if we look at the 5-minute orb, go ahead and draw it out. We'll look to see if we get a breakout out of that. How are we looking over at SPY? SPY broke out of the 5-minute orb. So here's the top and bottom of the orb. Let's see how this next candle closes here. You notice the price action pushed below the orb, and then the buyers came in and pushed the price back up. That's why this big long wick is developing here. I could sing. You guys don't want to hear me sing. You ever heard a robot sound like it was dying? That's me singing. So this is what you would call a false breakout here. So we broke out of the orb here, and then the buyer stepped in and pushed the price right back up. That's why you have this big long wick developing here. That's why it's always good to wait for confirmation. So we go back to QQQ, still inside the orb. Got about 2 minutes left for the candle closes there. AMD looks relatively strong today if it can break above that high. Nvda pushing as well. Got some pretty big resistance in this area. So 185.68. So I'm going to go ahead and mark 185.68. AMD's got quite a bit of resistance at the price it's currently at, about 102.32. What's old Elon doing? Not a whole lot. Got Steve Jobs over here. How's Microsoft looking? So for Microsoft, for a possible trend reversal, I would like to see a break or a bar close back above the EMA 5 for a possible reversal play here. So as you can see down here from all these wicks in this area, so there we go on Nvidia alert going off. Boom, mega candle. Let's see how we close here. So we closed above, getting pushed right back down. Let's see if we get, let me draw my fib out here. I'd like to try to get a pullback here to about the 38.2 or the 5 EMA, and then go long on some 187.50 calls. So let's see if we get a pullback here to the 5 EMA. Switch over to the daily time frame. Apple still inside the orb. QQQ still inside the orb. SPY still inside the orb. SPX is still inside the orb as well. Here we go. Nvidia pulling back. I didn't get my fill here. I'm trying to get a fill at 260 on the 187.50s. Calls, I did get filled. So you see how the price action immediately pulled back to the 38.2 retracement level. And then we bounced basically off the 5 EMA as well. So now looking for a move higher. That contract is currently up about 6%. So going to lock profit on this contract at around 15 to 20%. We're up 10%, 17%. So it moved too fast for me to get a fill there at 17%. But if you caught a piece of that, we're currently sitting at about 10% gains. I have a sell order in at 325. We're back up to 15%. So everything else is still looking like it's in the orb. Apple is trying to break out of the orb now, but it's getting pushed back down. So Nvidia, come over here. The 15-minute orb is about to close, but we can do the 5-minute. So we're up 10% on this contract. We hit 17% there. I'm going to change my sell to $3 even and go ahead and lock the profit. So profit locked. So we locked in at 16% there. We're hitting a little bit of resistance. I'm happy with that. These other two trades are those SPX contracts that expired worthless yesterday for me being a dumbass. The first trade of the day, locked in $42 profit. We entered that trade at $9.42 and got out at $9.45 for a quick almost 50 bucks. So if anybody caught that, please let me know in the chat. So now the price is probably going to push higher, but I'm happy with these profits. Stuck to the plan, got out around 15%, executed well. So just to review this trade, and I'm going to personally journal this. So it was the Nvidia 187.50 calls. We drew a Fibonacci for the first two 5-minute candles. We waited for a pullback to the 38.2 retracement, which was also the 5 EMA. Then we entered, and we took profit around the 10% extension. Nice little trade there. So now, let's find something else here. So AMD is also out of the orb. We can draw our fib here. So how are we looking for resistance at this level? So we've got some pretty heavy resistance right here. So if we can get over here, we could see a possible move up to 103. So I missed that fill there on AMD. This would be more of a quick moving trade. But as you can see, we drew our fib here from the low of our very first candle to the high of our third candle. And then you had a pullback here to the 23.6 retracement, which is basically the 5 EMA as one. If we would have got some calls here and then entered, we could have had a nice push here for over about 50 cents, which should have yielded about 15 or 20% as well. So we missed that. I'm not going to chase it. I'm going to wait for another entry. So Apple is out of the orb. That candle just closed. We are above the 5 EMA. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to draw a fib from the low to the high. But we are above the 5. And the 5 just crossed over the 13. So let's see if we get a pullback here to the 23.6. Doesn't look like we're going to get a pullback. So we are pulling back to the 5. I'm going to try to get 2 149 calls expiring tomorrow for 125. I'm going to see if I get a fill. Orders in. So I'm going to go ahead and look to set a sell probably around 150. So our first price target would be 148.58. Currently up 4% on this contract. Anchor probably. It probably is because of YouTube. There's not really anything I can do to fix that issue. You can join the Discord, which you can find the link in the description of this video. Go to my link tree and then you'll see a link for the Discord. I'm posting the plays there as well. Currently down about 6% in this position. %, so gonna honor the stop loss. We get to negative 25%. I will mark it out of this position to get a quick fill. And full on reversal here. It's currently down about 18%. Stopped out, negative 23%. I marked it out of the order. One win, one loss so far. Nvidia had a nice push there. That's one of those shoulda, woulda, coulda moments. If we would have held, we could have made more money. But you can't think like that in terms of trading and trying to make a profession out of this. You have to protect your capital. So right now, watching SPX here, we've got a whole bunch of wick action going on. See that whole area there is nothing but wicks. So that means we've got some strong support around yesterday's low. So based off solely that information, and yesterday's high was 41.60. I am going to wait to see if we get, let's see here. See, we're getting the price action pushed back up. So I'm going to go with 2 lottos of the 4160 SPX calls, and I'm going to try to get a fill at 85 cents. This is a high risk, high reward play. These contracts expire today, and I am solely basing this play off all of the buying pressure pushing the price back up from here. So I'm in that trade, and that fast it's already down 10%, but I'm fine with that. So SPX 4160 calls, lotto size, high risk, high reward, 0 days to. Boom, full on reversal right there. Nice little 11% on those SPXs, 15%, 20%. So we do have somewhat of a little gap right here. Not a very big one. So the price in between this gap is about $2. So 20% on these SPX contracts. Feel free to lock in some profit. So this play, I believe, if we can get above this little bit of resistance here from where we opened, we may go back and test yesterday's midpoint about the 200 MA. We're up 40%. 40% on them SPX contracts. So these are lottos for me. Like I said, I think if the market can have a little bit of a mini rally here, these can yield us, you know, see Apple did a full-on reversal now, breaking to new highs. So if you are still in that Apple play, you should be in the green now. You should be up about at least a minimum of 10 to 15%. So the VIX is dropping. We hit 40% on that lotto there. Market is failing to break higher right now. If you are new to the Discord, please make sure that you have the OG's roles apply so you can see all the channels. Wow, Tesla full on trying to break out of the trend line here. So if we look at Tesla, and we've got this daily trend line, we can see the price action is trying to break here. If we do break above this level, I'm going to go ahead and set an alert. We'll be looking to go long on some calls. Look at this beautiful movement here, just moving straight up to 5 EMA. That's great price action. That's what you want to see. So keeping Tesla on high watch here. I'm going to draw a 15-minute orb on Tesla. That was our opening range there. So if Tesla can break out of this downtrend and above this trend line, this should spark the bulls and start carrying the rest of the market with it. This has been a pretty heavy resistance here. As you can see, we tested it here back on the 4th. We tested it again on the 5th. We tested it on the 31st and yesterday, and we failed each time to break out. So I'm saying this message at 10:06 on the dot. 10:06:00. Can somebody tell me when they actually hear it? I want to see how bad the delay is. Tesla looks like we're going for a move here. We would want the price action to break above this dotted trend line here, and we would want the body of the candle itself to close as confirmation that SPX 4160 is back up to around 18% again. If you didn't lock profit the first time, here is your second time, 20%. So if the bulls can control Tesla and get us out of this downtrend, I would really like to see this. It would be a nice spark in the market. We will see the rest of the market follow. It looks like we're hitting some resistance here. So it's always smart when trading the indexes, SPX, SPY, QQQ. I'm just going to throw this out here. You guys should always watch Apple because of its weight in those indexes. It is a good indicator of what the indexes might be doing. You got Apple, Microsoft, Tesla. Those are all real heavyweights. I mean, the market caps. If we look at the market cap on Apple, I went over this yesterday. We've got 2.39 trillion, so about 2.4. Microsoft is right at 2 trillion, 1.99. And Tesla, Mr. Elon, is at 784 billion. So those three right there have a pretty big effect on the market in the S&P 500. So watching Tesla here. You can see that we're hitting resistance in this level here because of the wicks. The sellers, algos, whatever you want to call them, are pushing the price back down as it hits this trend line to break out of this downtrend. That's why this wick is developing here. But currently the price action is above the 5 EMA, so we are still in a bullish trend. So let's just see what happens here. So we've got an inside bar. So if this inside bar breaks to the upside, we should see a pretty violent move. SPX contracts are back up about 10 to 15% again. So if you didn't get out the first 2 times, here's your third chance. They're at 14%, but like I said, I'm holding these as a lotto myself. I believe we get a breakout. Here goes Tesla. It's trying. Let's see how this candle closes. We got 3 minutes and 30 seconds on this 5-minute candle close. As you can see, we pushed right above the trend line and then an immediate wick back down. So that's acting as a pretty heavy resistance here, but we did break to a new high of day. So before entering, I'm going to see how this candle closes. SPX contracts back up to about 25%. Big old pop there on Tesla. I want to see how this candle closes before we make the move though. Because I believe if we break this level, in all honesty, we should see a nice push to 780 and then up to 800. SPX now at 50%. Breaking new high a day, breaking out of the orbits at 60%. Please lock some profits. We've got about 2 minutes on this Tesla candle. $80, 90% on SPX. 94, 100%. Lock some profits, lock some profits. The idea on Tesla is if this 5-minute candle body closes above this trend line, the dotted white line, we are going to go long on some calls. I'm going to enter the $800 calls. SPX, that's a huge damn candle. We're up 135%. I'm going to go ahead and sell one of these SPX contracts at $2. Gonna lock that in. If I get a fill here, "17 seconds on this Tesla candle. Two seconds. 1 second. The body is closing. I'm going for the Tesla $800 calls. In at $3.90. These contracts move super fast. I didn't get a fill on that SPX there. I'm kind of mad at myself. I should have marketed out of the order. Didn't get a fill. Now it's down to 67% profits. Was up over 130. Market net flow, we have calls rising and puts dropping off some. The momentum has shifted positive for the first time today. The algo is drastically going down. Tesla contract currently up about 3%. %, 10%. So Tesla seems to be struggling here at this level. We need the bulls to come through and give us a big push here. We are still above the 5 EMA, so we are still in a bullish uptrend. As long as we are above this blue line here, we are doing okay. I'm going to change my sell on one of the SPX contracts to $1.75. Come on, Papa Musk. Lead the way. Carry us. Let's get out of this downtrend. We are out of it. We just need to hold it. Come on. Let's go. Apple, SPX, both full on reversing here. Jesus, that's a huge candle. Whole market shifting down. Tesla has now turned the trend line, it looks like, into support. I love it when my smartwatch tells me, get up and start walking or moving around, basically saying that I'm lazy. Anybody else's watch do that? Come on, Bulls, where you at? What's the VIX looking like? Not to sound biased or anything, more so pissed off. I love it when the market makers and the algos just control the whole market and just send the whole market down at once. Like every ticker right there, just boom. That 5 EMA is acting as support on Tesla. It's not giving up the 5 EMA yet. Still in that position against my better judgment. Hit about negative 30% on it. SPX was over 100. I didn't lock it like a dumbass like I did yesterday. And now down 25% on that. So it's always very important. I preach it, but sometimes I break my own rules to lock profits when you have them. Let's see what happens here. If Tesla could get over this resistance of this trend line here, it's still acting as pretty heavy resistance. Like I said, it would carry the rest of the market. The rest of the market would follow. These candles on SPX are just nasty. There's some news that broke or something. Oh, there's a Fed talking right now. So that wasn't even on the calendar. Unless I just completely missed it. Let's see here. So right now we're at 10:30. I don't see nothing about Brainerd speaking. Might get a double bottom here on SPX, bouncing off the low of day. Currently breaking rules on Tesla and SPX here. I think this is an overreaction to what Brainerd is saying right now. I'm going to post it if anybody didn't see it in market news. It's going in the options chat. Market pricing for rate hike of 50 basis points in June and July seem like a likely reasonable path. Getting to September, it's harder to say. I don't have a clear sense of where we'll be in September. Hard to see the case for a pause in rate hikes, and traders price in ECB rate hike in December. I believe that was a big overreaction to shit we already knew about. They say the same thing every time they get on TV or they have this speech where they're talking to somebody freaking important. They're 50 points, 50 points. We already know this. SPX broke to new lows Yet price is reversing here. Trying to reverse anyway. So we had our double bottom here and here. Then we broke a little bit lower and price is trying to reverse. Apple is bouncing a little bit. Tesla is coming back. Let me put two charts up here. Hold on. No, that's too much. So like I said, I feel that was an overreaction to news that we already knew, that the whole market knew, that has been known. And I believe for the market to shift like it did is the algos read into that news and saw Brainerd's name in the news, and they saw the word rate hike and automatically just dumped it on impulse. These algos are smart. They're supposed to read the documents and FMOC meeting release notes, and they read pretty much everything, and they look for keywords, and then they move the market at their own will. We're just a pawn in their game. We can't beat them, so we have to find ways to join them and make money. That's why I stick to the Fibonacci here. So many algos, it seems, are programmed by the fibs. I mean, if we look at Tesla here, for example, so I have the fib drawn from the low of the day to the high before that last move up. And as you can see, we broke to new highs here, and then we had that overreaction to that news, and look where we pulled back to, almost perfectly to the 23.6 retracement level. If that's not an algo move, then I don't know what is. Now we're just going to chop around, it looks like. So not entering any more trades here till we pick a direction. Most prices, Apple, SPX. Let's see. SPY. QQQ is out of the orb, but SPY, SPX, and Apple are all sitting in their 15-minute orbs. Tesla, like I said, if we can get back over this trend line here, we should have some nice movement. So tell me in the chat, guys, what on this stream is helpful, what is not. What would you like me to make some videos on? What would help you? Help me help you guys. Let me know. Drop some messages in the chat. Leave me a comment. I know this live trading, people say this helps them a lot. It gets in the brain of what's going on real time to see how other people do things. If you guys haven't learned how to use the bots yet in the Discord, I highly recommend it. They can be used as good confirmation, be used to gauge the way of market sentiment, or look up exactly the sentiment of how a particular ticker is moving. We just had a tradie flow alert come in for ticker MOS for calls. This is elite for January 20th, 2023. This is the $70 strike, so they're anticipating about a $10 move. Yeah, dividends come in yesterday. I personally do not like that tradie flow because we have a big head and shoulder sitting right here with no real support, and from here about all the way down to here. I don't like that setup. I'm going to stay away. Price action now is just choppy. Tesla trying to make a little move up here. And the algo flow for Tesla and the net flow, if you look in the Tradie Tick bot channel, are both screaming calls to the upside, calls to the upside. I mean, the algo it's yelling it. So I think we may see a push here. We just got to get past this trend line resistance. We had to make a clear break of it. Come on, Elon, pump it. Not necessarily Elon pumping it, but I like Elon. Do you guys like Elon? I'm going to go out here. Go out here to the daily time frame. 778 resistance. And we got resistance at about the 795 level. Bulls keep trying for this level here, but we haven't gotten anything yet. He should buy YouTube next. He could buy whatever the heck he wants. Dude's got so much money, it's not even funny. He could literally use the bathroom and use $100 bills as toilet paper for the rest of his life and not even damage a tenth of 1% of his money. So just being patient here, seeing what the market's going to do. Apple, SPX. Apple is sitting inside its 5-minute orb. SPX is also sitting inside its 5-minute orb. Qqq is outside of the orb. Microsoft is above its orb. But right now I've got too much invested on this small account into Tesla in this SPX play. Broke my rules for stop losses. The SPX doesn't have a stop loss because it's 0 days to expiration. But the Tesla, on Tesla contracts, you have to go a little bit wider. I typically stick to -20 to -30% max for my liking, about the median price of that of -25. But with Tesla, because sometimes it moves so violently, it's hard not to get stopped out utilizing that. So typically I tend to go wider. But SPX and Tesla are probably two of my favorites to trade just because of how fast the contracts move. If you're a good scalper, and by good I mean getting in and getting out within minutes, you can make a lot of money on just small moves if you buy at the money or in the money contracts. I mean, a $2 or $3 little dollar move on SPX or Tesla is nothing, and it could yield you, 50 to 100% in like 60 seconds if you could time it right. If you can limit in and mark it out, I mean, you can make some money. I mean, that's what everybody's here for, right? It's to make money. Nobody likes losing money. But the main thing with trading that everybody has to remember is you put yourself in the trade. You decide how long you want to stay. You take yourself out. You're the boss. You're in control. It's all up to you. It's you against yourself. And it's kind of every man for himself out there, every man or woman. You got to take the logicalness out of it and basically just think in probabilities. So I'm reading, well, I wouldn't say really good because I haven't read the whole book, but I'm into the second chapter I'm into the third chapter of Trading in the Zone. Highly recommended. Good book. I have another one that I halfway read, but I don't really like it, which is The Mental Game of Trading. I don't really like the take on this book, so I never finished it. And I recently just picked up the Trading in the Zone, which so far, like I said, I really like it. And I also picked up this one, Atomic Habits, which is highly recommended by a lot of people. So with trading, it's all about developing a system. People think it's about indicators and it's about strategies and this, that, and the third. And I mean, you can pick any indicator, any strategy for the most part, and it will all work. It's all about just creating an opportunity and timing it correctly. It really has nothing to do with the strategy or the indicators you're using. It has to do with finding an opportunity and acting on it, and knowing up front and accepting that you have the possibility of losing money. You have to accept that beforehand. Nobody is ever going to have a 100% win rate where they're going to get every trade right. That's just not going to happen. So Tesla kind of just sitting here. I would say triple top, quadruple top on this 5-minute time frame. Like price kind of looks stalled. This downtrend trend line, it's looking like a hell of a task to break. And there we've got a big knife candle coming across Apple and SPX again. Must be another Fed talking unannounced. Tesla looking like it's trying again. Like I said, if we get this move, we should see a price bump all the way up to 780 to 800. So Tesla trade almost back in the green, as well as SPX. Let's check the bot and see how our net flow and algo flow is looking. I mean, where I'm filtering, if you're looking at the TradyTix bot channel, I am filtering the net flow and algo flow for all options flow from today with no more than 10 days to expiration. So anything that has a greater than 10-day expiration is being filtered out. And as you can see, we're just screaming bullish here. I think we're going to see a move. We just need a nice push here. The robot voice here on the TradyTix website dashboard over here just let me know that we have a momentum cross. As you can see here, the momentum has shifted from a negative momentum to a positive momentum. Let's see if it holds. I would like to see a market cross where the call line comes up and surpasses the put line. Then we should have a nice rally. If we look at Tesla on a different time frame, we kind of got a nice little flag built here. So it's always good to look at different time frames. But if I take this and we draw it, we have our flagpole and then our flag, and if patterns hold true, we should see a break to the upside. It's trying again. Come on, Papa Musk. Really choppy action on SPX and Apple Wick Central. There goes Tesla, new high of day, contract back green. Now if the bulls can hold this, we should see a nice push up to 780. Going to adjust my fib levels here. So I have my fib now drawn from the low of day to the high of day candle before a pullback here. As you can see, we're kind of stalling at this. We have selling pressure coming in from the wick of this candle. Market net flow. Puts are coming down, calls are going up. Hopefully we see some continued call buying here and put selling, and we get a market cross. Tesla moving higher, contracts up about 5% now. There we go. Moving higher, SPX is back in the green now as well. So we have to have some follow through volume here. The premiums for calls just shifted from negative cumulative net premiums to positive above zero. So if this pace keeps up, we should have a market incross coming, and we should see a rally here shortly. Still having some issue here at this level. No follow through yet. We did break out of the downtrend. So we just need to hold this level. Wicking back down right this second. Slow moving price action. But looking at the market net flow, calls are still rising, puts are coming down. So it may take us take us a second to build this little bit of momentum, but I think we're about to see some rallying here. Either a rally or hard rejection on Tesla. Those are the only two probabilities that are about to happen. Lots of supply up in this area. If you're watching Tsla, I swear it looks like they're using Apple to hedge, and that's why the net flow hasn't been working worth a damn lately, because of its weight in the index. Nice pop on Apple, SPX, and Tesla all popping off a little bit. SPX is back up in about 6%. Tesla is up 7% if you're still in these trades. So even with these nice little pops, though, we're not going to go anywhere unless we get some type of follow through. Come on, bulls. Let's go. We shouldn't have any more surprises today. That whole Bernard Fed thing was a surprise, because if we look at the economic calendar here, he wasn't even on the calendar, but yet he's popping up saying stuff. I can't stand when that happens. We do have FMOC member Mester speaking at 1 o'clock, but we still got some time on that. Look at these wicks, man. I mean, we're going nowhere. It's like the market is waiting for something. Market net flow calls still coming up more, but the put line has started curving up as well. When they both go the same direction, up, down, sideways, you typically are going to see some type of choppiness action until you have one going one direction and one going the other. I'm still anticipating a move up here. I think it's just taking forever. Where instead of going down the river in a motor boat, we're going down the river in a damn paddle boat. SPX, nice little pump there. Zach, you should have just made about $100 on that contract there. It hit 690 off that last candle. Nice trade. Come on, Tesla. Push us to new high a day. Come on. We were looking like we were going to get a market cross here on the net flow. Then all of a sudden, puts got a nice spike here. Hopefully those are for longer dated contracts. SPX contract back up 20% again. Tesla's up 6%. We need a big push here. Come on. Push us past this resistance. Tesla, new high. Up 10%. SPX up 26, 30%. Like I said, I believe Tesla is going to carry us all the way up to 778, 780 area. Tesla up 18%, 20%. I'm going to go ahead and try to get a fill on one of these Tesla contracts. I have a sell order in at $5. Tesla is up over 20% and SPX is up 50% now. 55 on SPX. Lock some profits. $25%. I saw one of the Tesla contracts there. Got a fill at $5, around 25%. So I've got one contract left. I'm targeting 780. If we get 780, then my next price target will be 795. We are up 33% here on Tesla. SPX is up 60% there. SPX up 75%, Tesla over 40. Here comes SPX with a vengeance, breaking to new high of day there. Apple is hitting the 200 MA on the 5 minute and getting a slight pullback to 200 MA is this 5 minute here. If we get over the 200 MA, we should see a nice continued rally. Still targeting 778, 780 on Tesla. I think now that we've broken out of this downtrend on the daily, we will see a nice move up to 800 possibly today. Going to check the bot. Both short term for Apple and Tesla are screaming bullish. Market net flow. We have the call line about to surpass the put line here. The algo looking like it's going to shift from negative to positive, and the momentum is positive. So I am going to stay in this other Tesla contract as long as the candle bodies do not close below the 5 EMA here. I typically chart on the 5-minute. SPX pushing higher here. Apple pushing higher. SPX 55%. If any of you watching haven't subscribed or hit the like button, please do so. I would greatly appreciate it. Trying to grow this channel. Trying to help people while helping myself. Wouldn't be where I'm at unless I had help from other people out there. Just trying to pass what I know along. So SPX is up 65% there on that nice little pump. Come on, we need Tesla to come through here. So, looking at Apple, it's kind of ugly, but we kind of have a inverse head and shoulder pattern here. Here is your shoulders. So we should be looking for a neckline break here to the upside. Here goes Tesla up 45%. Those SPXs are up 76%. The software that I'm currently using for trading is Webull. And my charting platform is TradingView. You can find a link to it in the description of this video or on my YouTube page. Tesla, new high a day, up 45%. SPX is up back over 100% again. So I'm going to lock in one of these SPX contracts at 175. Sold. So Tesla up 50%. SPX is up about 110. Apple making a nice breakout here, breaking out of that inverse head and shoulders that I showed you guys. Neckline breaking to the upside. So there was your shoulder, there was your head, there was your other shoulder. This is your shoulder formation. Your neckline was here. So you looking for a break to the upside, which is exactly what happened. SPX, big move there, up 117%. So if SPX can get over this 200 MA, I believe we can see a move all the way up to 41.30 and then 41.40 area. But on SPX, we need to get over this 200 MA. We're up 120% on it right now. We need to break that 200 MA. Yesterday, that's where we had a bunch of resistance. If you look right here, we had a bunch of resistance at this area. So if we break this 200 MA, we should test 130 to 140. Tesla up 55%. We're up about 130% on SPX. Tesla, we tapped 60% there on that other contract, up 140% on SPX now. Come on, let's get over this 200 MA. Come on, let's have an ultimate bull run today. Let's go. Let's go, bulls. So we're about to have a market cross. Looking over here at the market net flow. Our algo is about to shift positive, which are these red bars in the back. Our momentum is slowly growing, and the call line is about to surpass the put line. As long as we can get over this 200 MA here on SPX. Let's take a look at SPY. SPY, we are above the 200 MA. We would need to break over. We would need price action over about the 412, 413 area. About 412.50. So set an alert for 412.60. So Tesla going for a bigger high. SPX really trying to get over here. We need a push from Apple at this level as well. I'd like to see a push on Tesla all the way up to 800 today. So market cross is getting very close here, but we're getting some rejection or resistance here at the SPX 200 MA. We need a push. Apple's net flow for short-term contracts is screaming bullish. And Tesla for long-term and short-term are both screaming bullish. There goes SPX trying to get over this 200 MA now. It's making its move. And we're, like I said, hitting some resistance at this level. Now we have both calls and puts going to the upside, which is going to be a little indication of some choppiness here. We need a push from the bulls to continue upward. We're basically hitting yesterday's resistance on SPX right now. We had that huge sell-off yesterday. Then we bounced. We hit resistance at the 200 MA, and that's exactly what's happening again. So I am still in this Tesla trade. Is going to be watching closely as long as our price action stays above the 5 MA here. We have a nice uptrend going on. I'll be staying in this trade. Big rejection there on Apple and SPX. We just had a bullish cross on the market net flow. Let's see if it holds or if we get rejected here. We need the calls to continue with the upward momentum and converge over the put line. Sometimes you will see a rejection here where the put and call line will go to intersect and they will reject each other, and then you will run into a downtrend. So let's see what we're looking like here in the next minute or two. I believe the bulls are hungry today, but that's just me. Let's look at the VIX and see what the VIX is doing. So if we go out to the daily on the VIX, we don't really have any support on the VIX until about 2475 area, so we still got some room to move here. Tesla using the 5 EMA as support, bouncing off of that line and wicking back up. as well as SPX is above the 5 EMA. We sold down, but then we had buyers pushing the price back up here by these wicks that are developed. And if we look at Apple, the same thing is happening. So looking at market net flow again, the call activity looks to have crossed over the puts, but now we're kind of looking stalled for a second as the line is not continuing upward, it's going sideways. We need to see how it goes here. So we need a full on cut. We need a full on cross here. So now we've got the line going up a little bit. There's Tesla trying to make its move here again. And if Tesla continues its upward movement, like I said, the rest of the market should follow. You always want to pay attention to these mega cap stocks like this. They have a lot of weight in the indexes and basically controlling the overall sentiment of the market. Apple, Microsoft, Tesla. And we've got a new high on Tesla here. And SPX and Apple are following behind. So we have an outside bar developing here on Tesla. So an outside bar, for those of you that don't know, that means that the low is lower and the high is higher than the prior candle. So basically this candle is engulfing the previous candle. So the high is higher and the low is lower. So it basically swallowed the whole prior candle. Where an inside candle or an inside bar, like this yellow one here, is inside of the high and low of the previous candle. So for the small account, I had a real bad day yesterday, lost about $800. Today I am up right now about 415, up 15% on the account. The current account balance is 3150, and today is day 11. So I started with $1,054 on the 18th, and right now we are over 3,000. So looking back over here at the net flow, we did have a market cross. The algo did shift positive here, and our momentum is positive, but as we cross, the lines have kind of leveled out and are both going sideways now. We need the call line to start going up. Those Tesla contracts are at about 55% now. There we got a slight shift in the call line. It is going up. And the put line is going down. This is what we want to see for a continued rally. So my price target on Tesla, like I was saying, was about 778. We hit 777.90, so off by about 10 cents. So it's not too shabby there. And Tesla going for a new high a day here. Contracts up 65%. I have a sell set on Tesla. I'm basically just riding the wave of this as long as the price action stays above the 5 EMA. I have a sell set for $8 for the one contract that I have left, which would be over 100% gains. So 75%, 76. We're 85%, 90. We're above 778. We're at 100% on the SPX here as well. Since we just did have a market cross, where it's almost 100% here on Tesla. Nice pullback right off that Fibonacci extension of the 38.2. And filled on Tesla, all out with over 100% gains. So, nice $519 between the first scale out and the second one, about $520 profit, or 66%. So now we only have this one SPX trade still open. We have one contract left. Still in this SPX trade. Everybody enjoying the stream? Everybody makes some money today? So we took a loss on Apple. We had a 23% loss on Apple. We had a 16% gain on Nvda, which I haven't looked again, but I'm sure ran much, much higher. Oh yeah, Nvidia's just gone. Why didn't anybody mention that? That thing's well over a couple 100% now. What did we get in that at? So we were in Nvidia 187.50 at 260. And that thing's at 750 now. That's 200% if you would have diamond handed that, but I didn't. I got out. So I took my profit and ran. So we've got a real big flag building here on SPX. Remember, symbols don't always hold true. But the thing I do not like about this flag, and why I say that, is we are currently sitting at the 200 MA resistance. So we need a nice push above that. And I don't know if we're going to get it. But we've got a nice flag here. And we would like to see this break to the upside. We would like to see this bull flag break out. But like I said, with your 200 MA resistance here, this white line, I don't know if we're going to get it. Appreciate that, Derek. Like I said, that's why flags don't always hold true. So I'm going to see how this last SPX contract plays out here. I'd like to try to see the profit. I'd like to see this flag break out and lock in those profits. I'm not going to have a stop loss on this. What I'm probably going to do after I close this trade out is probably take a break, go eat some lunch, and I'm going to come back about 1:30, 2 o'clock and do a part 2 live session, and we can get in on some SPX 0-day to expiration contracts, and we can look and see if SPX has a general trend developed, and if it does, these contracts can move 100 or 100, couple hundred, thousands of percents within seconds near the end of the day. Yesterday, one of the contracts literally went from 80 cents to $8 in 5 minutes. That's like a 10,000% increase. So 80% to $8. Well, excuse me. I did the math on that wrong. I never promised to be good at mathematics, but 80 cents to $8 was a 900% gain in 5 minutes. So that's really good. So watching SPX here, beautiful flag formed. Put a nice flag here. As a tiny little flag. Come on, TradingView, you gotta do better than that. What else we got? We'll do it like this. So we're looking for a break here above the 200. Yeah, I think, responding to your comment, Derek, I think we can see Tesla run all the way to 800 today. I mean, it has a beautiful trend going. It's kind of carrying the rest of the market. Nvidia has a nice trend right there with it. You could literally probably lay those two charts on top of each other. Well, we'll see how it plays out. So I do like Nvidia here. So we're going to look at this last leg. How are we looking on the daily? So we're in a nice area here. to move on up about 195. So I'm going to try some 195 calls on Nvidia here at 245 off this 5 EMA bounce. If I get a fill. So I currently like the chart. We've got a nice bull flag going on. We're bouncing off the 5 EMA and we're holding that level. I think we can see a nice move to 194.75 and then 195.50. I try to do it every day. I don't want to say yes that I do it every day and then feel bad because I'm not able to do it, but I'm going to try to do it a few days a week. I also have a free for now Discord where I call out the plays as well as the Trady Ticks bots in the Discord. You can find the link to it in the description to this video on my Linktree page. So currently up about 3% on these Nvidia 195s. Tesla, I'm looking at 795. We're up 8% on these Nvidia 195s. Called out in the Discord and here on live. Nvidia trying for a move up here. We're up about 8%. Big consolidation flag here. Looking for a push up to 194.75. SPX is also in a huge flag formation. You can look at the wick action and see that we did break a little lower, but we do have a big bottom wick on these candles, meaning that the buyers are pushing the price action back up. Nvidia up 10%. Contracts currently at, they did hit 270 there. Hitting some resistance at this level. Contracts are back to break even. Big flag formation here. Like I said, I think we're about to see a nice breakout. SPX is popping back up. SPX contracts back up at 60%. You can see down here in my positions. Making a nice move. Tesla also trying to move up with Nvda. Nvda, new high of day. Nice breakout on that flag there. We're going for 194.75 target, and we're up 20% on them contracts. I have a sell order in for $3. The contracts hit about 290. I did not get filled there. I did not get a fill on that pop. SPX is trying to go over this 200 MA now. Any new members to the Discord, I went ahead and added a special role called the OG. We got filled on that Nvidia contract at $3. We still have one more contract. We got filled, and that was a 22% gain there. We first price target hit of 194.75. Now we are targeting 195.50. SPX is back over 100%. So 111, 120%. If we hold above this 200 MA, I see some resistance around 41.30. But if we break 41.30, we can see 41.40 easily. SPX, we have big candle there, up 135%. What I was saying about the Discord is I have applied the OG's role to everybody that is in the Discord. You should be able to see all the channels now, as well as access the Trading Ticks bots. Please take the time to learn how to use the bots. They are very informative. The Trading Ticks query bot channel is where you can query the bot and get information as far as flow. And then you have the auto posting channels. You can find out information on all of them from the Trading Ticks website. Do I offer one-on-one training? I do not. Well, I never have. I wouldn't say that I don't, but that's not something I've done before. I do have several people asking, so it could be a possibility in the future. We need SPX to hold above the 200 MA and then to break above resistance here at 41.2850, so we'll just call it 41.30. And then we could see a nice move here to about the 41.40 area. So that Nvidia contract is up 25%. We're up 150% on SPX. I think we can cover a lot of ground on SPX here if we keep rallying. So we're sitting almost at 200%. SPX is over that resistance. We're up 180% on that contract. So Nvidia, we are targeting 195.50 as our next price target. SPX still moving. We're up 200% on that contract. I don't have any way to tip as of yet. I appreciate it though. We're up 230% on SPX here. We're at 41.30, that first price target I just gave. Now I see us moving to 41.39 or 41.40 if we continue in this upward momentum. So I am going to stay in this Nvidia trade as long as we stay above the 5 EMA here, your blue line. SPX moving higher. Full on rally mode. Market cross had a nice move back there. Over here on your market net flow, we had a market cross and we almost crossed back, then it bounced or it rejected like I was saying earlier. The algo flow score is growing, as well as your momentum. We're up 240% on SPX now. Zach asked, you still taking some time and returning for the big SPX 0 day to expirations later? Possibly after 1 o'clock. I'm going to go eat lunch here shortly, and possibly after 1:30, I'll come back and we'll look at some SPX 0 days to expiration. And we may play some of those because they can literally go from 0% to a couple 100% in less than a minute or two. But they are high risk, high reward. And you have to be quick in and out. You have to take your gains and you have to run with it. So as long as there is a trend developed, I will say yes, that we will take some of those. SPX, one contract left, now over 300%, 85 cent to $3.40, still going. Looking for a 41.40 price target. A little bit of a pullback here. Let's look at the VIX. Always need to watch the VIX and see what's going on here. So VIX broke straight through that support that I called out earlier. If we go over here to the daily time frame, we've got some more support about 23.82 is what I'm seeing next. SPX is just gone. Now we have some good divergence going on here in the market net flow. As you can see, the put line is going down and the call line is going up. So if anybody made any money on any of these plays, please post your gains to members' profits. I would greatly appreciate it. That's all the tip I need at this time. All you members that are already in the Discord will be free forever, but eventually here in the near future, I'm going to start charging. Apple making a move higher and SPX. But all you guys with the OGs roll will be grandfathered in free forever. I said about the first 50 members, I may up it to 75 or 100 members. We'll see how it goes. Spy, member from the chat, Jaquan, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, asking what I think about Spy going back down to the 408 range. I think as long as we stay in this uptrend, trend lines are your friends. Draw this trend line. As long as the price action stays above your 5 EMA blue line here and doesn't break below this trend, we are continuing upwards into a bullish trend. If we break below either of these, we may see some downside. But I think from that big rally there, we're having a little bit of a pullback and we should continue a nice bounce. But as I'm saying that, looking at market net flow, calls did just take a big dive down, but puts are also going down. So SPX made it to 41.36.57. So Nvda, back at entry here. So I'm probably going to go ahead and stop out here on Nvda. I sold that other Nvda contract at $2.40. He went all in on that, didn't you, Derek? Jeez. YOLO. Sold that Nvidia contract. We got back close to my entry price. I didn't want to continue to hold it. And didn't get out of SPX either. Was up over 330%. Now sitting at about 150%. Slight pullback here. Let's redraw some fibs. So let me delete this Fibonacci. We filled this gap. That's our orb. So we're going to take a fib and we're going to draw it from the last low to the high of that leg of that move there. So on SPX, we want to stay above this 5 EMA. And we are reversing pretty hard. I'm going to go ahead and sell this SPX at 180 if I can get out here. Out at 180. Now I am sitting all cash. Currently all positions are closed. I am up on the small account, $706.82, or 25%. So I've been streaming now, guys, for 2 hours and 45 minutes. I got to get up, take a bathroom break. I want to eat some lunch, so I'm going to call the stream for here now. Thanks to all the new followers. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. Thanks for interacting with the stream. If you haven't yet, please join the Discord. You can find the link in the description of this video. It is free for now, but will turn into a paid group soon. Should be back later today after 1 or 1:30, and we'll look at SPX price action and might take some lottos on it.